dun. Back on some really good music here. I just absolutely love the Synthetic Dawn station on City Skylines. Seriously, is one of my favorites on here. It's played some serious, decently, really great music here. Like this song right here, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, let's get started. We are back in City Skylines and just chilling right here, floating above Slugleaf. If you knew where we're at, we're in Westwood. That's Slugleaf there. We got Slugleaf Hills, Slugleaf Gardens. I forget what the other part of Slugleaf is. It's Slugleaf something. And of course, we're looking down towards the Laurel and Hardy School of Medicine there. Kind of right dead center, just about there. Let's make it dead center. And there's the Laurel and Hardy School of Medicine there. And then right after that is Hardy Park. I forget what the name is for it, but it's Hardy Park. It's a regular park, city park. And then the Hardy Business Center, the Hardy Amusement Park, and then we have Laurel Heights, Laurel something or other on the other side of that. So we have it like kind of all working together towards this area here. So yeah, anyway, let me get my comment section pulled up so I can see it. I just went through an update on my computer, so hopefully it isn't too slow for me here. I know what's going. Oh, there we go. All right. So I hope everybody's doing good. Let me, hey, Chris Nomis and David, welcome. Right on. So, like I was saying, just kind of hanging out here, floating over Slugleaf at the moment. Let me get myself kind of comfortable here, and we will get going on this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with, as I was sitting there doing some things over the week, I'm looking at it, and it's just like, it's so boring in this part of the town right now. I mean, there's other areas too we could work on, but as I look around, you got just these big, giant blank areas in between homes and roads, areas like this that are just, useless, and there's nothing going on. I don't want to put anything there other than obviously decorating with some trees, some rocks, things like that. So that's what we're going to start doing for a little bit here today. We're going to get a lot of this looking really good. One thing I'm going to do is we're going to start off, first of all, doing a, we're going to decorate inside the roundabout here, and then we're going to throw some trees in a couple of spots I want right in here. But then we're going to take that and just kind of spread them out. I'll let them kind of spread naturally using the different tools we got on here and stuff like that, so that we can take the rest of Slugleaf here. As you can see, it's got so many bare areas going on through it that I want to fill in. Now, there's a lot of people walking around right there. But I want to fill these areas in, especially in spots like this where there's homes that go to grass to a yard. Like there would be trees out there. So let's take care of that, get going. And I wanted to kind of fill in the park over here. I feel like the park just needs a lot more trees. So I'm going to do that too. First of all, like I said, let's get this. Good old filling in the gaps, right? I mean, you start building so much and then you're like, all right, I got all this done. And then you kind of get into your next step and you just start forgetting about all these just odd spots that you have in between homes and things like that, to where something like this, you got at least the trees on this side here look a lot better than just the nothingness. So I'm not sure where those trees even came from. I must have planted them down at some point here, but I guess they could have been there as well. So get rid of these two. I have just, a thing I want to do here. We're going to start off with grabbing some of these. There we go. Because this has like a slight slope to it, so I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm not going to do too many rocks on this side or on this one. Like sometimes I'll do like a large rock in there and stuff like that, but this, and then we'll be able to fill in these little spots over here that I'm wanting to work on at the same time. like one thing I like to do is kind of go in between housing if I can. So it's like you get spots like this. You can throw some stuff down when you're just wanting to fill in gaps. But we'll do more gap filling in a few minutes here. Let's grab a few more. Actually, yeah. A few more trees in here. Oh, I see what that problem was earlier. I was having a problem because of this road earlier. I was trying to plant right here. You see where it won't let me put a tree. And I was getting so pissed off at it, and then I realized just now that it was because it's this style of road, I bet. I was having problems with that, so anyway. So I hope everybody's having a good week, a good weekend, so on and so forth, all that yada yada and such. Actually, it's been a pretty decent weekend for myself. Got to sit around a little more than I typically do. Sometimes I'm usually just kind of caught up on just different little projects I've got and chores I got to do. Like, I did have some chores and stuff I should have gotten myself into this week, but like, I should have totally cleaned my car out. It is a disaster right now, and I just desperately need to like do something about it. So maybe next weekend, I guess. But this weekend, I got to that point where I was like, I'm so burnt out. I'm so stressed. I just want to relax and play some games. That's what I did. I played some games. If you take a look, I got turn the circle into a circular ziggurat with flowers on each level. And got into some games and just kind of did my thing. Just, didn't really pay attention to too much in the outside world that I didn't want to worry about. So yeah, it was kind of nice. So, alright. Now, we're going to go ahead and start throwing down... Well, you know what? I want one more... I want to throw in an oak tree in here. I don't want too many oaks right here. I just want a couple. Just kind of fit with that one I threw in there. And I mean, there'll be some more oaks placed down in the future here, but just trying to... There we go. Alright, so the spot that I saved here in the center here, so what I'm going to do with it here, I want to take a little bit of this one that looks like ferns. We're going to spread them out a little wide here. Just kind of under the trees if we can, just nestle them in there. If I can see it properly, there we go. Just trying to get as close to the tree as I can with that. Okay, that should be good. Now we're going to take this one. This one might end up disappearing. The rocks, as you get placed in here, sometimes make that stuff disappear, so... There we go. It worked. It worked. Good. So, if you did not hear at the beginning of this, I started up, I was talking about the music going on. We got the Synthetic Dawn. I absolutely just love the station. Super good. So if you play this game and you don't really care much about the stations, you should totally check this out. It might change your mind. Throw a couple of these in. I like when it gives me the smaller stones like that. There we go. I want these ones more often. I just wish they were more predictable about when I could get those smaller stones. Let's see. We already got some rocks in those areas. It looks good right there. Yeah. And then we can get some of these kind of tight into these ferns also. There we go, like that. Shukaboa! Oh my goodness gracious. We've been graced with Shukaboa's presence. What is going on, man? How are you doing? Back from the sea. Dang. Alright, I promise. Next one, we'll do that. How about that? I kind of had a really good envisioning for this one that I wanted to go with, and it's where my brain was all week. I did this one probably like 2 or 3 different times because I had one design I was working on, I didn't like it, and I changed it up a little bit, and then I didn't quite like that because it wasn't what I was thinking originally, and then I came up with going this route with just using the smaller rocks, kind of building my own little rock garden, so to speak. And I really enjoyed the way it came out. This isn't identical, obviously, to what I did, but it's pretty darn close. And I didn't want it to be, like, totally filled in. That's why I chose these, like the fern and the low vegetation right here and stuff like that. Did this last time seem longer than usual? Yeah, a little bit, huh? Yeah, it did seem like you were gone for quite a while there. Alright, let's get one more over here if we can. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of keep this forested theme going on. And as you see, as it gets filled in, it's going to look really good. It'll go along with everything. But I wanted, I love doing the rocks. I love having the rock garden type of feel in there. And I couldn't do this smaller roundabout with the big rocks, like that they got in here and stuff. So it's kind of the way I went. Like, this is one I like to use when I can, but see, it doesn't fit. This one is another one that is like super hard to make fit in these roundabouts, but if you can, like that, they do tend to get overgrown onto the sidewalks. You want to make them just a little bit bigger. So, alright, over here now, as you can see, again, just kind of talk about how all the bare areas are along here and stuff like that. And I really wanted to do something about it. And since I'm not on like PC, I don't get that ability to just like grab a tree and line a road with it. It makes it really difficult to try and do stuff like that. But I did want to make this kind of match up with the housing over here and stuff like that. So what I went ahead and did through here in my build, where are they at, is I grabbed some of these. Now, I wish I had that ability like the PC players, where I could just kind of grab and make a line. But I can't, so I just gotta, like, position them, play around with them a little bit. It's nice, you run through there after you're coming through the neighborhood, and it's just all all these cool purple trees. So I like that. Now around them, of course, we're just gonna go back into our regular kind of feel of nature around here. In fact, what I think is the best way to go at this point, and then we can come back and play around with a couple different things if we want, is to just go ahead and do this. We'll crank the strength up, not all the way, but just about. And then, like I said, I'm doing this because I really want to start filling in all these areas that just, we'll go through here a little bit in the park. don't want it too deep with one specific tree, so I'm trying to be careful. I'm just like tapping it. Oh man, I'm glad you could too. I'm actually really appreciative of that. It's super cool. You get back and you're watching my stream, buddy. Alright, let's see here. Now let's go ahead and just like I said, I'm just gonna try to go through this as quickly as possible. I'm just tapping the button, trying to go back and forth, just filling in everywhere, using the paint tool on this, kind of spreading what I'm doing out a little bit, hoping that it's filling in the blanks that I want it to be in, to be honest. But just using all the trees that I've been using throughout the rest of this build, trying my hardest to just make sure everything matches, not getting any like palm trees in weird areas unless we're building something like that. But see, I mean, get down in here where I was showing you before, where the blank areas of these homes, and now at least with the trees, they're not so bad. They look a lot better. So let's get some oaks now. That's why I wanted to hold off on the oaks over there, is because I knew I was going to throw them down like this, and I just wanted to make sure that the one spot at least had an oak in it, but I didn't want it to be filled up, like, just in case I accidentally hit the strength all the way up and it's like dropping oak trees everywhere or something. Alright, and we'll just kind of do one more little quick pass through here. Now we can take a look, and everything is absolutely filled up, as much as the game itself would drop. I mean, I could probably drop a whole bunch more trees through here and make it look really, really filled in. But for the time being, these are areas that, at least where I live in the Pacific Northwest, you would see this. Like, driving through the city, no matter what, you're going to see a lot of trees everywhere, things like that. Not necessarily, I could go through, I could put a lot of grasses and rocks and stuff at certain spots, but I think that's better suited for the areas that are a little more, going to be a little more looked at, a little more widely used, stuff like that, we can kind of play around with. But for just your general fill-in, doing something like this works great, and again, makes the city look really good and everything like that. So, like, you can come over here even. These were all blank areas where these walkways are, and I mean, they're just looking fantastic. So, all right. I mean, like, this is an area I wanted to fill in, obviously, being that the school we built last time was right here. So, all right, let's see. The next thing I need to do, really quick before I get away from Slugleaf Gardens here, is to go in here and finish up with our trams. We built the tram roads through there. I, did all that, got it all ready, and then never ended up putting the lines through. So what we're going to do is start our lines. We'll at least get a couple going through for now. Make sure I'm on the right side of the road there. There we go. And we'll make a few good stops. Like, this one should be a decent spot because of the school. We can come down, get a stop to there. Don't do that. There we go. Come on. There we go. I don't know why I was jumping around like that. Then it doesn't get too busy with traffic, so I think this isn't a bad spot to have a stop. It'd be a kind of an in-between. You'll see what I mean in a minute here. It's kind of an in-between spot of the other line that's going to be coming through here. So allow people to walk from that stop to one of the other two stops and go from there where they want to go. All right, so now, then what we'll do is we'll get this side going. So like I said, I'm going to start with a stop here near the other one, not make it the same stop. And this one, no, what are you doing? That's right, I forgot I had to make the stop right here. Or else it tries to take you this direction for some reason. Yeah, it should be fine. Another stop here. And then what I wanted to do was come through this direction. And then, like I said, I wanted to make it just close. Complete the line so they can get off of that stop right there, go to that one or that one, whatever their choosing is. And in the future, I mean, I could do it right now, I guess, but in the future, it wouldn't be too bad to have a line go in the opposite direction. So I guess I just never think of it when I'm building in the test. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't occur to me to attempt to do anything like this. I don't know why, but let's see, it goes up this way. I mean, I guess if they're not running at the same time, it's not really going to affect traffic, especially in an area that's so just as I went the wrong dang direction. Did I? Wait. Oh, no, I didn't. What did I do wrong here? I went the wrong way somehow. Oh, I need to go here first. Right? Oh, okay, I see. I just confused myself with the way that it has to go through the roundabout. Oh, my gosh. We do have a couple of things that I noticed that the PC doesn't have. For instance, oh, there we go. All right, I totally just confused myself with the way it goes through the roundabout like that. All right, so for instance, I get that type of menu. I don't think the PC has that menu where I can push up and I get that. Then what else was there? There was something else. Just the fact that, I mean, obviously using the controller to move around and look at stuff. I can get in nice and tight right here, do some circles. It's probably a little bit more difficult on a PC to do some of the maneuvering that I can do with the controller and stuff. So, but as far as like things that I would love to have on the console, like some of the mods that the PC players get, like being able to control traffic, things like that. Yeah, I definitely would love to get my hands on some of those, as opposed to just playing vanilla all the time. Sorry, I had to scratch right there. Let's see. Trying to make sure I find my right proper stops here. That one's a little bit shorter of a line, so. Other one was a little longer. And I mean, typically I should have lines, you know, like that right there. I do have lines going in both directions. So it's just smart, you know, if you're trying to go home one way or the other, you're not waiting on one tram, I guess. Like I said, the traffic through here is not going to be like super crazy. It's just a housing area. All right, Slugleaf is looking great. So what's going to lead into the next part here is this stuff here. We've got this whole industrial area that I've been just eyeballing so much. I really want to use this area for more than just what it is. It's just this big blank zone. It's got this going on. They're poisoning the earth by sucking that up. But we're going to kind of use up what we can, just a little bit more of what we have left. As you can see, there's a little bit left over here. So we'll start dropping some of these off over here. There's a little bit left over here. I mean, I don't really want to make roads through here trying to collect everything, but I don't mind like sticking that one there. Then these have pretty much sucked everything up out of the ground over here, so I'm just going to move them over here, get as much as I can, and then I want to at one point here just completely get rid of them. I mean, just done, vamonos, bye-bye, gone, all that. So we'll stick these ones. I just don't really care to use up absolutely everything. I know that's also a little close to the neighborhoods, but I'm just going to use a little bit of that oil, get a little bit of that oil out of there, and then once it gets to a certain point, we'll remove it, and we're going to just take this whole area back over entirely. So I guess I didn't need to do that. All right, that's fine. What in the heck? I know water is going to be an issue for those other ones. Let me just do temporary. Oh, nope, I guess not. Temporary line there. Now these, gotta get them out of my. No. Okay, I don't want to demolish it. I just want it out of my way. So we're gonna move these just down here. Get them out of the way. These actually, we're gonna put over here. They're barracks for the workers, so put them over here. And then we're going to just completely shut all this down. All this road. No longer necessary. Sorry, truck, you're stuck. So, oh no, the road crunch. I guess what I could do in the meantime to kind of help with making traffic a slight bit more efficient here. Do that. But that part, like I said, we're just finishing up what we got here. And then we're going to go ahead and... What is going on there? Then we're going to go ahead and start doing a couple other things with this area. So let's see here. This is ore storage. I'm going to put it on the down here. This power line is too much. Just too much. All right, let's fix that. You should be happy. I tell myself that every day, and I'm working on it. At some point, I will be. I promise. There we go. All right, that should get them all power. That's another line I can get rid of. Another one there. It's just a windmill for one thing there. Do 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 do. All right, looking good. Looking good. We got all the power lines, everything out of the way. We can adjust our water lines in a minute here because right now they're feeding everything over here, and yeah, we'll just have to deal with that as the time comes. So let's get our roads. First things first, we are going to F up Hardy Business Park over here. Got a bounce, amigos. Great to see you. Hey, you have a great night, man. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate it. All right, first things first, we're going to start over here. We're kind of messing up a little bit of Hardy Business Park. But I just didn't feel that connecting like this was going to be an effective way of having this district work out. And what I ended up coming up with looked a lot better, so we're just going to go with that. And I'm going to get this as close as possible. So I need to take road length. I guess I can just pretty much take everything off of here right now. So I want to get it as close to there as possible so it has a pretty decent rise. I'm going to cross over. Guess we can just keep this straight. Now, we'll go freeform at this point. And now we'll kind of go back into following these a little bit like this. I think I went too close to the highway there. All right, it did all right over there, but this, I think, well, maybe not. We'll check this out here. So, my thought process here is, since it's coming off of the highway, and I don't want everybody traveling through Hardy Business District to get on there to cross over. So I figure it should have at least some on and off ramp capabilities through here. Guess I can go back to freeform. It's not doing what I wanted it to do right there. Then we'll take this. Back onto the highway there. This little section I don't think needs anything on it, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now. But to me, I'm looking at it. See it a little bit, David. To me, it just needs this, just this little bit extra to it. You know what I mean? Like the on-off ability for this side, which is going to probably get pretty busy. I mean, I almost think that this is going to get a little too busy for this area, to be completely honest here. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll change a couple things up about Hardy Business Park in the future here. Allow more of an on-off ramp style thing to go on through here, like something like this or that. Even like that might even work out. Might not even be a bad idea to do something like that. And then people can go directly to I gotta check. I gotta see it now. I just have to see it. Nah, I think it's too close. It's just too close to all that. There's already enough people slowing down for that. And without the traffic manager mod, like I should have, like traffic manager mod would make this area through here work out so nice. So yeah, as much as I think like maybe in the future we can mess with this and do something, but for now I don't think that's going to be useful. Let's leave it as is for the moment. But I had to get the dirt roads disconnected from those because all of a sudden you'll start seeing all the traffic going through there from them. And what we're trying to do right now is start this new area, at least start the takeover, and then we'll start to like spread out from here. So, in fact, all right, let's get the rest of these roads. Now, since I'm right here, I'm going to do this. Upgrade. Just make that all like that through there. Kind of like that too. And we'll leave this little section open so people can see the trees as they drive through. Alright, now back down here to our regular small roads. Freeform. Let's make sure... Well, I don't really need all that stuff on, but I guess it doesn't matter one way or the other. So I want to make sure that I had the zoning going. Dun, 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 dun. Just trying to be, again, a little unique with the roads. I mean, regardless of how they're designed, they're still pretty much coming out to be in a grid of some sort, so... And so this area that I'm working on, what I'm trying to do here is I want this to be a little more businesses and stuff like that. I mean, I know we have the Hardy Business Park right there, but what I'm wanting to do here is go with our walking zone. I don't even know why I put these roads down if I want to do walking zones, but I'm almost thinking about turning it into walking zones. For now, it's just not the walking zones. My brain is that's going with that. The style up buildings from that. It's like the wall-to-wall buildings is what I kind of had going through here. But with the way that the roads are, I don't think that they really fit in there too properly. And so what I want to do is make this just kind of a mix of business, a mix of housing, like going this direction, getting back into the housing, and then kind of, I don't know. In my brain, I see it as business off the highway, growing into housing, and then kind of turning back into a small bit of housing, like this type of housing, and like smaller businesses up along the water here and stuff, and then more housing along here in the future. That's what my envisionment was of it, and I think we can accomplish it. I want to find the right style for this area and everything like that. Let's finish getting these roads in here really quick. Then, I mean, I guess there's no better time than now to just figure it all out. So let's go ahead. Oh, first things first, I'm going to take this, since we're reclaiming it from the industry, we are going to get rid of the industry area here. Just kind of give them what they need for the moment where I have them at working, and then we'll get rid of the rest of this. Don't want to destroy Hardy Park there. They're still working in these areas. That's all done. There's nothing up here. Okay. Alright, now let's go back over here. Now we can make our area here. And I think it's time to come up with some new names. We've really played out the Laurel and Hardy. Slugleaf is not on this side. We don't need to make more Slugleaf. So, just kind of thinking of stuff right now. I don't really have anything off the top of my head, so... But we are near the water. We got to be careful, though. We're going to be tossing down some stuff in the future to protect this area with the water, because it does tend to flood right here. So, the Holly District. It's all right for now. So let's go in here. I kind of want to keep... I want to keep the colors and everything going on. I don't really want to go with the Brooklyn and Queens, because Brooklyn and Queens does this. It's just all this brick. And I don't really, I mean, this area is fine and all, but I'm not really happy entirely with it. So I don't think I want to choose like Brooklyn and Queens for this. So definitely out of the question. Heart of Korea is cool. It's got some really good buildings in it. As far as housing goes, it does pretty good too for what I'm kind of thinking and envisioning for this area. So we might go with Heart of Korea. Shopping malls is always good for business areas, but I think I used that across the way already. And of course, we don't need Industrial Evolution. So I think what we'll do is we will stick with the Heart of Korea for the district styling here. Hi, Yusuf. How you doing? Thanks for joining. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and just kind of do all these different little things here really quick. Just kind of push through. I already know what I want, so it's not like I need to stop and read them or anything like that. High-tech housing. No. We do... No, I don't want to do the high-rise ban necessarily yet. I'll wait on that until I get a little bit further in the to the left here. So, don't need to worry about any of that other stuff. I think we're good. Okay. Let's go ahead and, I guess, start thinking about how we want to lay these buildings in. But first, before I lay them down, let's double check. Like, we got to fix the water lines. I told you that was going to be an issue. Let's hit pause really quick so we don't mess anybody up there. That water line's in a good spot. Alright. So we'll just come off of the highway. I know everybody's favorite thing is watching the water lines get dropped. You know, the best thing to do, though, when you're playing on console and you want to drop water lines, is you gotta go like this. Turn all your snap options off. It just makes it a lot easier, a lot faster to kind of guide your lines where you need them to be. Especially when you're trying to go around turns like that. Alright, I think that should have covered most everything. I think it did. Alright, let's hit play. Let that do its thing. We are looking at some water and sewer availability problems pretty quickly here if we don't do something about it. So, on that note, I think that the best thing we can do is to keep this area industrial here, where we got these going on. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and move these. This was part of my plan, was to have a small, like where a dump is and stuff like that, just kind of out of the way. So let's go ahead and move this. These can be anywhere. I mean, they don't have to go like specifically in any given spot at all. So just try to find something that's useful, I guess. Alright, so this area, though, let's go ahead and let's consider what we got going on here. Let's hit pause for a second here. Even though it's next to the water, we need to bring in... Let's go ahead and start thinking about this. This is going to have to happen. I'm going to have to start bringing this around. What's going on? Come on, give me it. Give me something. There we go. Let's stop there. I mean, I should just kind of finish this, but I'm not 100% sure how I want to kind of take this area yet, if I'm going to do that, because like I said, it floods here occasionally still, and I want to be careful about that. So let's see. This can get moved. That can stay. This will be an industrial zone. But I gotta be careful here. Let's turn our snap options back on. This is gonna help. Connect to the proper thing. There we go. Go like that. There we go. Now we can just upgrade. I think I'm going to leave that road almost as is. We might end up changing the entrance right there a little bit. Let's think about that. And then being that it's going to be connected in, we're still trying to use these dirt areas for like guiding roads and stuff. I kind of like that as a good idea for stuff like that. You would try to use the least hardest route to build a road, right? Like we wouldn't have to cut trees and such. So now I want to also be very careful about how things are set up around here, since this will be a small industrial zone, so to speak. Like, you got to be careful about pollution, obviously, here. That should be fine. It's not the most efficient routes, I guess, but it's small. It works. So what I'm thinking, like I said, this is going to have to be, like, you know, important, is our eco-advanced water treatment. I'm trying to keep it away from, you know, neighborhoods and stuff, obviously. So right here, I guess, is going to be our best bet. Or here. Let's go with that. Then, one thing we can do to fix our water issues is to place these up here, a couple of these up here. I have got to fix that water line. What in the world happened there? All right. So now we've got that connected in. We've got that. We just got to get this dealt with. Now we can run a connection like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there? All right. Now, because I could see that it will give us issues in the future if we don't put water lines down. I have them in my possession at this moment. We might as well just do the job. Works for me. All right. Shiitakes. And if you don't know, I do play Baldur's Gate 3. I will be going live later today, but I'll probably get off of here, take a quick break, and then I'll be back on a little bit later after I get done with this, and we'll play some Baldur's Gate 3 tonight. I also should have, if you follow me on X, I should have some stuff posted up. I'm trying to get some videos posted up over there as far as my Pokemon and collectibles and stuff goes for over there. I do post Pokemon videos on here, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, just a quick shameless plug there. All right, now let's get back into this. We got all our stuff necessary. Oh wait, we don't have everything necessary. I needed one more thing. So this is something I'm absolutely happy that they created for this game. This works, of course, it's from the Heart of Korea pack, which I'm using for our buildings in this area. The eco-friendly incinerator plant. So this thing sends out 30 garbage trucks, and it just burns the garbage and turns it into power. Great solution for areas like this that you don't want pollution, a lot of pollution, things like that, I guess. So I'm trying to keep the pollution down, and this is like the best method for it. So place that one there. And it should fit. It should fit. Once we start getting buildings down and everything, it should hopefully not look too silly over there or anything. And then just because we have the tiniest amount of pollution that will make it out here along the edge, I'll run a couple of those. That'll help to clean it up, make it nice out there. Now, I almost want to put one more of these in if I can. Of course, my roads have just too much of a curve. No, we can't put it there. Oh, the road just turns just a little too much. Oh my goodness. Like, it should totally fit there. I'm roadside. I'm roadside. Come on. I mean, I could go here. It works too, but then again, we're looking at the pollution up here in Holly District. All right, I'll fix the roads here in a little bit. We'll let that one run for now. Do its thing. Then I think I need to, where is it? Is it over here in the road area? I wanted to throw, yes. I wanted to throw in a road maintenance depot. I think, you know, like I said, this is going to be an industrial zone. Industrial-ish zone. So why not throw in industrial-ish type buildings? So stuff like road maintenance building works out nice. Plus, again, these run around the city. They make the roads nicer. Your traffic runs hopefully smoother on there. Not necessarily true for consoles. Let's see what else we can kind of throw down in here, make it look cool, kind of fit in with the industrial vibe. We do have this post office, post sorting facility, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and throw down a post sorting facility. If it'll give me a good spot for it. I think right there should be fine. This is all going to be business to the left of it where it's showing noise, so should be alright. Then, I don't really think we have a lot of post offices out there, to be honest, so. we'll throw... I mean, look at... Yeah, I don't have any post office. Wow. When you try to look at something and you're like, oh, shit. I guess we don't have anything to post mail on in this city. Good thing everybody's got email these days, right? I mean, it wouldn't take very much. I just got to throw a couple of buildings down. Can use business zone areas for it. Oh, I think that's housing. Shit. Yeah, just throw a post office in the middle of the housing. Like a jackass. This side is businesses. We'll throw it in here. We'll do a little bit over here. This is all housing along here. I think the... Oof. Yeah, our best bet is to put it over here somewhere, I guess. There. A little bit of this is missing, but we can throw... This is all business over here, so we can use this area. We'll throw it in there. I don't want to, like, throw these down anywhere that's going to disturb, you know, housing and such, so... What is this? Oh, it's all businesses there. I think that's all business. Right there will be fine, I guess, though. That should be good. Man, I did not realize that I didn't have any, like... It's always those things that you never use. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I've never used it. And that makes a huge, like, difference. Oh, man. All right. We'll come back to the post office thing. We got it started up, I guess. We're going to have to put in more of these post sorting facilities, I'm sure. No problem, Tim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I figured you were having something go on. Like, I was trying to turn it on and watch it, and on my phone, it was just basically frozen. And on my computer, it wasn't. It was just a black screen with a circle on it. There's a little, like, waiting circle, loading circle, whatever. So I was having some issues there myself. Okay. Oh, boy, I got to yawn down. Oh, goodness. So we got a couple things laid out for our, of course they want power, for our industrial zone here. And then what we can do is, I think probably the smartest thing to do would be actually make it a tiny little industrial zone. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this old zoning here. As they are losing their lease on the land very quickly. That's the way I look at it. They leased the land from the city. That's the best way to look at it. And they're losing that lease. The city wants it back because the city is growing and would rather do alternate things. More efficient, more clean. Got generic. We're going to keep a generic industry here. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, wait, yes. But what I want to do with this industry area right here, we won't do any of that. I don't think we need... Actually, I want to throw in the Heart of Korea if it does adjust the buildings. I want to kind of keep this whole area kind of looking like this, I think. We'll stick with the whole Heart of Korea vibe. But what I want to do is in here specifically, and that is... Where'd it go? I guess we do the automatic sorting since we just put in mail. That's, yeah. And it's city planning. That's what I'm looking for. Industrial space planning. No, I don't want that. That's not what I want. No, I want... Where is it? Filter industrial waste. And the Industry 4.0. It's a small industry. That's why. We have a college right there and everything, so we're good. So yeah, that's what I wanted. That helps to keep it more efficient, cleaner, stuff like that, especially because we're right here next to the water. So that's why I am doing that. Now, will you go where I want you to go? Let's go with that. The medium tool, thank you. Oh wait, I want to also adjust a couple of these roads really fast here. Upgrade, snapping options. And crank that up into a wider road, just because it looks good to me. I kind of almost think, though, that I should keep... Oh, what did I do to myself? Part of me is thinking that it'd be smarter to turn this road as it's growing into this type of road. I sure do. I sure do. I just haven't worked this area out entirely yet. Sorry. Like this area, I already know what I want to do. It'll take me like 30 seconds to get this laid out. This is the spot that's like giving me some issues now. So, I want to redo this. Now I want to redo it. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Pause. We're going to move everything out of the way really quick. Okay. This is the joy of creating in this game. Sometimes you gotta go with the flow. Change things up a little and alright, now, let's go with this medium road like I want to do, coming off of here. In fact, I almost... Son of a bitch. I got a good idea. I just had an even better idea, because there won't be any main... I still haven't built, like, a main, like... road through here that's just going to feed everything else out. So I think the best idea then, I might be wrong, I could be totally wrong, Let's go with freeform. And then until we retake this part of the city, we need to go back to this little section being a dirt road. Just trying to get... Here we go. That road, though, is going to be one of our main roads. I think I'm already screwing this all up with the highway right here. I think I need to do something different. It's going to just be so busy. We've got the Hardy Amusement Park there. We've got the business park, but... I guess we'll see. I'm just preemptively like, oh gosh, what am I doing? Did I mess myself up here? Seen before. Okay, let's turn our zoning back on, and we are going to go ahead... Be happy. It is industrial. I can get nice and tight to the road if I want. Oh, lovely bug. I'm probably like hurting myself by having this little wave. Obviously, it's probably the worst thing I could be doing. Do-do-do-do. This is the fun part, I guess. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to put anything there right now. Alright, let's see. We've got all these buildings. We got to move back over here. Let's leave things as they are for the moment. I'm still not 100% happy with this, but... If you wanna be happy, dun 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 dun. All right. I don't see anything else that needs to be moved. I think I got it all, but we do need to adjust our water lines. So dang bad. Oh my god. Let's just connect it. We'll fix it later when we actually adjust that road. Alright. This took way more time than I thought it was going to take. Like, I honestly was like, oh, we'll just add this little thing in and then I'll go mess with it later on and make it better. And then all of a sudden I was like, no, I need to make it better now. Like, what the... Alright, there we go. I made it better. I do like it a little better, though. I think it is a little bit better off. Once we start kind of pushing this area a little bit more, I think what we can do is we can push our industrial area just a little bit more further along here, like probably about this much farther, and then we can create a couple more roads. I don't want a huge one. I just want just a touch to kind of feed the businesses in the area and such. So, and again, that's why we're making it with all of our, different things there, so it helps with the filtering the waste and all that. All right, let's go ahead. I don't want to put in a ton of businesses right now. Or industrial businesses, I should say, but enough that it'll start like helping the meter go down on me. Let's do one there. Let's do a couple there. And that should be good for now, just to get it started, like I was saying. I don't really want to put a bunch down right this second. Just get it started. So, that should be good. We're going to go ahead and hit play. Make all these trucks very, very confused. Alright, so I think I want to start with high density over here. As far as businesses go. And then what we're going to do is, because it is Korean district, I think it should work. We're going to go to switch it down to low, the shorter ones here. Oh, you know what? No, it doesn't work. I remember. I remember one of the first tries, I was having some issues with this. What I ended up doing was this. Watch, this is actually works out a way better. Let's fix that. Make that so there. Then what I did was I came through and I went ahead and I put housing in at this point, but I came over a little ways. So we'll fill in where I want the housing to be. Like, basically, we could make all the rest of this. Oops. A little too far there. Then I should have remembered I needed to put in my schools, so that's going to be, the elementary school is going to go in right here. Here, I'll take this one out just in case I need the space, and that little bit right there. And then my high school, because it's going to also not just be for this district, but it's going to kind of press on towards where I'm pushing the district this way in the future. So I figured this is probably the best spot for the high school here. And if we need to adjust our roads in any sense like that, in order to fit in like a ballpark, like I usually do, then I can take like Carroll Street here and make it come this way a little more and, give myself a little bit more room right there. So that's where I want my schools to be. This, like I said, I had trouble with the buildings, with the noise, and then they just weren't looking right when I tried to do the shorter businesses, these ones, low density. So what I ended up doing was this. I came in here, grabbed park parts, park placing tools, whatever. Grabbed like this, the 10th anniversary part. Oh, I made it a little too small. The last time I did this, it was probably just a little wider, but I'm going to stick with what I have now. That's all right. I could do that one. We'll go like that. There we go. Now I want to grab a couple of these ones right here, like the tourist parks, the sidewalk restaurant. These don't create noise pollution, and that's why I chose them for these areas. Get the smaller one here. Then, let's see, we got the park with birches, a little big. I think the best bet was the tourist park. Oh, shoot. I need to give myself a little bit of room. Or no. Okay, that works. That's like that, like that. Yeah, okay. Then... on this side, I just decided to put a couple of them together like that. Just a little park area right there. So the rest of these now, we can come in here, we can have a little bit of fun with them. Help decorate this area up. I do not get why that one will not connect. But I can do that. Let's rethink the way that one comes in, because I wanted it to connect like that. And I think, there we go. And again, I can't get that little section, the nub coming off there to do crap, so. Every once in a while, look at it worked there, but that's just like, you gotta do this perfectly straight. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna quit freaking trying to stress myself out there. Alright. So then what I'm going to do is I'm basically kind of with these lines, or with the trails here. I'm kind of just creating where I can come in. I'm going to add a couple more buildings in for housing right there and there. This doesn't necessarily need to do that because there's nothing there. But it's a nice little spot to walk away from your business right there, I guess. So, we got that. Don't need to really do that. Okay. So our next phase with this little section here is to, again, make it a little more park-like. Just start adding trees. That should have buildings on it, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I think the rest of that should be fine. I kind of want to take this little area right here, and where is, yeah. Just do like something like this, I think. Just a little gazebo in here. And then this, I really like the benches up here from the mountain village set. And just place a couple here. So it's just like kind of a little picnic zone. So we just got like a little picnic zone out there. And look, it even helped to spread some of the green. That's cool. So that way, now we've got our business area here. It splits it off with some, noise reducing area. And then it's kind of like, it's the breakaway, and then it helps go right back into housing here, which is going to help out a lot. Which is, we don't need any of that anymore. We just need a little more industrial, which I will add in a moment here. All right, let me see. I got to go ahead and get... these last couple spots. That should work. Okay, now let's go ahead after we've got that. We do need to add in, we've got hospitals located nearby, but we do need our schools. The elementary school, I wanted to be up in here. Like that. And now our high school, I wanted it to face it like that so that I can use this, like I said, if I need to, I can move this background or the back area here. So let's see, we'll look at the football field and see how it doesn't quite fit. And we could try like some of the other stuff. We got the small soccer field and stuff too, but again, this doesn't quite fit. So that's where I was kind of thinking that I wanted it to go that way. So now what we do is we fix that. Watch, totally screwed it up that way. I had it looking so good the first time I did it. Oh, man, it's so close, so close. All right, we're going to add it in like this. We'll build around it. It should be a little easier that way. So like this. So there we go. Not how I originally had it. It was a little more like a triangle shape, but this will work. This will work. Definitely work that. Look at like the pathway is already touching the school. We could take this one. And we'll go ahead and just bring it over to the side, and then we could take this. Go like that. Nice. Actually worked out pretty good like that. That'll work. I like that. Then we can add in parking or something over here. We'll deal with that in a little bit here. But for the moment, what do we got? Holy crap, we got a lot of freaking mail trucks going out there, don't we? I gotta look at something here. Thought so. Gotta check those areas. I was like, why are they all stopped? Oh, stoplight. That makes sense. Oh, we need more industrial. All right. That's why I made this area. That's why I did. I made it right there on purpose. The way it is. I'm like already building. See? All right. Let me see. Let me think. This industrial zone was just a different add-on that I just was not expecting today. That took me a little longer than I thought, but it'll work out. I think it should be just fine. I'm going to let these mail trucks do their things. We're going to have to throw a couple more of those out in the city. These collection places, whatever they are. What is this? The sorting facility. They're going to definitely need to have a few more of these out there. Why we stick these all around town and stuff. So we'll think about that for the next episode we have coming into this. I think that's when I'll be able to focus on that. Try to figure out the best plan of action for making sure that they are in our city, because we obviously found out they are nowhere to be found. Ooh, we've got a couple of issues going on throughout the city, so I'm going to have to look into that. Nothing much, just oh, look, I guess it isn't that big of an issue. It's just some people are dying. I mean, they need more hearses running through the city, I guess. Anyway, let's take care of that. That's easy enough. See, I've had plenty of little industrial areas on the water fronts and stuff. They've done all right, so. This one should do just fine. And then, like I did here, I got the little filters or whatever to clean the water from any industrial waste, so that should be nice. Now, it's building up over here. It's filling up our stuff, so it looks like we have got kind of what I was planning on going through today and getting taken care of. And I'm actually pretty happy with this. So we've got our buildings popping up over here as far as businesses going. I wanted them to be high-rise buildings on this side, a little bit just kind of in tune with what's going on over here in Hardy Business Park and Laurel Heights and stuff like that. Now, Hardy Business Park, because it uses the malls or whatever type of DLC on it, it's going to keep the buildings pretty much around this size. I don't think they're going to get much taller than this over here, but that's why I went with the taller buildings on this side, kind of offset it, going along with what's going on over there in Laurel Heights and stuff like that. So then the Holly District, of course, is going to have the high-rise buildings in it as well. That's part of the whole thing here. And then from there, as we make our way this direction back towards Slugleaf Gardens, we will take that Heart of Korea DLC and use that to get our low-level buildings. They kind of have that more of apartment feel to them as we go towards the left there. And that's going to start looking really good. The way I had it kind of going, I mean, I did a sloppy version of it in my test build, but I liked it. And that's where I'm kind of going with. Now, the sloppy build is obviously why Evergreen Hills right here, shouldn't even be called Evergreen Hills, but because it's an industrial thing. But due to that, this was why this one didn't come out as quickly and nicely as I wanted it to. But it is kind of nice the way it is now. It's not like that big of a deal, in my opinion. It should work out quite well, especially with future stuff that I want to do. So maybe we'll keep Green Street here separated from in actual industrial traffic, since it has a lot of these trucks going through for the mail. Might do I don't know, there's other stuff that we can kind of focus on in these areas that are more about the traffic for themselves. Like, so, we could always put like we got a helicopter depot across the way for fire, so we could always do like a police helicopter depot over here, like that, which wouldn't be that bad of an idea. So yeah, we'll do a police helicopter depot right there. It doesn't utilize a lot of traffic, and it does fill in the space and make it look pretty good. So yeah, I think we'll go with that for now. I want to call it a day, go get myself some lunch in my belly, and take a quick break. Like I said, I'll be getting back on a little bit later, be playing some Baldur's Gate 3. Give me about maybe an hour or two for that, and then I will be back on. Until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. If I can find the button. Otherwise, I'll be